Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 1st to the 15th, 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so very much for doing so. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed. Interesting with the Knight of Wands. Oh, okay. The Seven of Swords, the Four of Cups, angels and spirit guides show me clearly, and the Death card. You're going through a transformation, Gemini, and it's something that you're going to be kind of fighting against. It's going to be around money or what you value as much as money really coming into the forefront. Be aware of Scorpio energy. If you have Scorpio energy in your chart, this part of your personality is going through a major transformation. Divinity is going to have you looking at things in a very different way than you've been looking at them before, and actually taking you out of a certain mindset. This is secrets, this is doubts, this is fears, this is, kind of like everything tinged in a little bit of gray, or the sepia, filter. The TV shows that have that filter on them. I can't watch them. They make me sad, like just watching everything in that filter. And that's kind of like the energy here. You're going to see yourself having been in a time that just seemed to have like a sepia filter on it. And that's how, like, you look back at things, instead of things being vibrant in colors, it's going to be very muted, very dulled. So just be aware of this. There's some sort of lie that you've been buying into. You're going to see here with the fire sign energy of the Knight of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, you're going to see fire and passion and determination really move you forward. Something about creating, cultivating. There can be a little bit of like it it's tense energy, but it's like, okay, just keep going, just a very intense energy as well. So it can be tense in and of like itself, like the sense of like your body being tense or your energy field being tense, but it's also going to be a very intense energy that's leading us forward, looking at our passions, really falling deeply into things during this time is going to just be part of our personality. If we have fire sign energy in our life, it's going to be pulling us forward in a way that we hadn't anticipated. If we have Scorpio energy in our life, whether it's positive energy or negative energy, whether this person is a friend or a foe, type of thing, it's going to be bringing out a lot of secrets that have been held, a lot of things that we have thought were true or held on to or thought were a certain way, and now we're going to be looking at it and being like, no, that's not right. So we're going to see divinity pulling us out of this place of like, no, it has to be like this. We're going to be like, oh, it has to be like this, and divinity is going to be like, no, it's not. And we've been kind of stuck around money, okay, or what we value as much as money, and then we're going to start to see that a gift comes forward, and it's like we're going to start to break down that barrier, whether we realize it or not. And that's going to be a very good thing for us. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you are interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a snowflake in the comment box below. Somebody will be chosen at random and announced on the 5th of February, not the 5th, on the 1st of February, which is in bulk, which is so fortuitous. I didn't even think of that. So I'm excited about that. So let's see what Spirit has to say. And pay attention for the video, like look out for the video, because I'm not going to be contacting anybody in the comment box. So if somebody contacts you pretending to be me, saying like congratulations or something like that, just know it's not going to be me. So do be mindful about this. All the instructions will be in the video and in the comment box below. And if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So let's see what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. Here we have success. Yeah, this is a time like there's going to be three ways that you move forward, and there's going to be three kind of challenges that you overcome in the first half of February that you're going to start to be like, oh, I am successful. And there's really been a doubt around that. Like, can I be successful? Can I move forward in the success that I want? There are a lot of secrets. There are a lot of questions. There's like, am I just lying to myself type of thing? But success is really moving us forward. And that's going to be a very interesting like revelation that comes our way. It moves us, not this. It moves us to our chakra energy. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is rebirth, and that's interesting that this is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. It's linked with the death card. The death card is rebirth. It's the dying away of the old self, a rebirth of the new. Just be mindful that we're going to see something changing in a way that we hadn't anticipated, or hadn't thought of. So do be mindful about that. But we're going to see ourselves reborn. We're going to see ourselves stepping into an energy, an understanding, an insight that is more than we realized. And we're going to see, just like the caterpillar going into the chrysalis and becoming the butterfly, we're going to see ourselves taking on a new form and taking on a new space in this world, a new space in the way that we want to move forward. And there's going to be a bit of a learning curve, when you spread your wings and fly. Let's see what Spirit wants us to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. This is the Two of Wands. Be mindful that doors are going to be closing, or that frustrations are going to be making themselves known. And don't think, I'm just going to throw in the towel, because I'm just frustrated. I'm done with this. Spirit is really saying, you're moving it forward in the direction that I want you to be at, and I want you to be in. And you're moving forward with this. It's going to be a flexibility of spirit that right now isn't a flexibility of spirit. Right now, we're really kind of like, it should be just like this. And spirit's like, well, it's time to open up our mind. And it is time to open up our mind. So just know that a door is going to be closed. We have to be mindful about it, because we're going to think, oh no, it's awful. And it's not going to be awful. It's opening up new opportunities. Okay, so let's see how the astrology correlates with the tarot. On the 1st of February, we have the moon in Scorpio squared Pluto in Aquarius. Be mindful of struggles over power and control. Now, we can see this with the Ace of Pentacles reverse. We can really feel like the prosperity, the bounty, what we value as much as money isn't coming the way that we want it to. There are lies around us, like we're believing lies very easily during this time. We're questioning ourselves. We're going to really have a tendency, and be mindful about this here, Gemini, to believe the negative, because we're going to think, well, why would they say it? Why would they say it if it wasn't true? So be mindful about this with the Seven of Swords. Be mindful of the negative, and really just kind of like being like, well, of course it has to be true. And also, there's a resistance to a transformation. There's a sense of secrets. And Spirit is going to show us, especially if we've lived in secrets for a really long time, that it's like, I'm not going to be here anymore. So don't get stuck in drama. It'll be very easy for us to get stuck in drama. Be kind to yourself. On the 2nd of February, we have Mercury in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. Our imagination is going to be on point. We're going to be creative, and we need to really embrace that creativity, whether it be in our work, but also in our hobbies. So that's going to be a great thing. Keep focused, keep determined, and you're going to see that your passion, your determination, your focus really leads you on an adventure. So it can be an adventure to really embrace your creativity during this time. And it's an adventure I hope you guys take. On the 3rd of February, we have the moon in Scorpio, sextile Mercury in Capricorn. This is a time to keep ourselves busy with projects and really keep our mind entertained. We're really going to take in new information, and we're going to be seeking out new things. Our mind is going to be really, really, really curious for it. On the 4th of February, we have the moon in Sagittarius squared Saturn in Pisces. We're going to have little patience. So just be aware of this during this time. We are going to get annoyed very quickly. We can feel not disciplined. We need to give ourselves time to get things done. It's going to take longer than we wanted to. So if you can kind of not schedule anything on the 4th, or just know that it's going to take more time on the 4th, that's going to be really, really, really important. The 5th of February, we have Mercury entering into Aquarius. Now, Mercury moving into Aquarius brings a sudden and intense kind of shift. It brings a lot of insight in. It brings unconventional ideas in, which kind of we thrive off of here, Gemini. So we're going to see ourselves really kind of stepping into our element. We're thinking outside of the box. But remember, we're going to have a tendency to believe lies. It's not just lies that other people tell us. It's lies that we tell ourselves. I can't do this because, or this is going to be too difficult because, or even though I'm really excited about XYZ, it's just not going to be for me because XYZ. So just be aware of this. We really want to embrace changes. We want to look at things. There's going to be this big urge of changing, but we really do feel like certain doors have been closed, or certain ways forward are just not an option to us anymore. So I can't change. I can't embrace. I can't move forward the way that I wanted to. And Spirit's like, well, that's no reason to throw in the towel. Follow me. We're going to be faced with challenges in one way or another, because Spirit's like, follow me. And we're going to kind of move forward kicking and screaming. We're going to be thinking, no, it has to be like this, or, oh, I have to change like this, or, oh, I want it to look like that. And Spirit's like, trust me, open the door, see where it takes you, see what you are kind of born to do. And it's time to start looking at that. On the 6th of February, we have the moon in Capricorn trine Jupiter in Taurus. Our outlook is very optimistic. We have a higher energy vibration on this day. Everybody does. We have a tendency to look on the bright side, to focus on happier things, and just embrace it. Just embrace it. Let it shine. We can be a little bit, I don't know why we're so pessimistic. It's not pessimistic. I don't want to sit there and be like, there's an Eeyore energy about us. There isn't. But there's just going to be a sense of I can't do this. And Spirit's like, why? Because the Four of Cups is that sense of I'm looking at the 3 cups that are here, and Spirit's handing us this fourth one. And we're thinking, no, not now, not now. I'm busy. I have a lot on my plate. I have a lot to do. Not now. And Spirit's like, no, now. So when we have this gift come in, when we have this energy come in, we're going to look at it first as are you kidding me? You're putting one more thing on my plate. Are you kidding me? You're pulling me out of where I need to be. And that's going to be a lie. There's going to be a real sense of oh no, this is the focus. But here, there's something here where it's it's nonsense, and we have to let it go. We have to. We've held on to it for way too long. It can be an idea about ourselves. It's an idea around wealth, okay, and what we value as much as money. And it might be, you're not the successful one. Your sister, your brother, whomever they are, gets to be successful, but not you, right? You're never going to be that. Or this is foolish. How could you possibly? And Spirit's no, let yourself shine. Let yourself shine. It's going to be super important, because there's something here where our own doubt in ourselves has been holding us back. It can even be the sentiment of, we don't get to have a lot of money, right? We don't get to be rich, or we don't get to be successful, or it always falls apart for us. Whatever lack, okay, or poverty mentality that we have around money, we're going to see that we're shattering it, or we're going to see that we're becoming aware of it. And then, because we become aware of it, we get to slay that dragon. And that's going to be really big for us. On the 7th of February, we have Venus in Capricorn trine Uranus in Taurus. This is going to really improve the way that we're dealing with people, and we're dealing with our relationships. This is going to open up new social circles for us. We're going to be yeah, I can do this. Yeah, let's connect, type of thing. We're going to be making new connections. We're going to be fiery and determined and focused, and that's going to be a really good thing. We also have Mars in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces. Now, this is the energy on the 7th of February as well, to really take the initiative in creative endeavors, really being inspired, taking action, moving forward. And there's almost a sense of thinking, I just can't do it, or it all fell apart, or I lost it all. And Spirit's no, you can. You're going to be surprised at the doors that open for you. And you're going to be surprised when you look back. It's not going to be, it might be by the end of 2024, which I know seems a long way away, but time moves so fast. We're going to see that it's oh wow, I didn't expect this. Oh wow, this is more than I realized. So being aware of this is going to be super important. We need to let our intuition guide us. This is going to be a time as well that we need to let our imagination, drive us forward, and we need to let our intuition guide us. That's going to be a really important thing, which is also another thing that we think, oh, I made a mistake before, or I messed up, and now it's just never going to happen again. And Spirit's you're writing yourself off. Stop. On the 8th of February, we have the Sun in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. It's easy to give into impulses on this day. So just be mindful about this and try to avoid it. We can overspend, we can overindulge, we can overeat, we can just do everything to excess. I just am seeing a gluttonous king type of energy. So just be mindful about that. What's also really interesting on the 8th of February is that we're going to start looking at issues of our heart during this time. We're going to start to look at things that are blockages around love. And what we think is the cause is not going to be the cause. It's around love. It's around, bringing passion and beauty and success and prosperity into our life. It's going to be actually focused around finances. So we can find that somebody was a bit of a bully with money, or we can think, oh, that's the reason why, things aren't working the way that I want them to. But you're going to be surprised as you dive deeper into that energy. It's oh no, this is the fear that comes forward. It's you can think oh, I was afraid, but this could be an act of rebellion. It's no, I'm going to be in control of the situation. So being mindful about this, because you're going to see certain issues coming to the surface where you're going to be oh, that was my response to it. Or oh, that's the way I handled it. Or that's how my 8-year-old self decided to rebel. And it served me well when I was 8, but I'm not 8 anymore. So just be aware of this during this time. On the 9th of February, we have the moon in Aquarius squared Uranus in Taurus. we are going to be impatient. Just be mindful about this. This is not a day to train new people, to teach, to like pull people closer and be like, oh, don't worry, I'll teach you. You're going to be impatient. You're going to be frustrated. You're not going to be good at it. And it's going to be just a little bit harder for us to maintain self-control. Self-control is going to be super important on the 9th because we're not going to have a lot of it, but we need to just be mindful about this. We are also going to look at and really embrace energy of positive change. Like, what can I change to move forward for me? But helping out other people, we're really not going to be into. So just be mindful about this during this time, because if we schedule anything like, oh, I can teach on this day, or I can hold this lesson, or let's have a class, or if you can, like if you're teaching something or you're giving a seminar or anything like that, if you can call out sick, that'd be great. That'd be great. Or just be kind to yourself. Just know that your patience is going to be just a little bit thin. On the 10th of February, we have Mercury in Aquarius squared Jupiter in Taurus. Lazy day. It is a lazy day. We have the irritation of the 9th bleeding into the 10th. So it's kind of like a spiritual hangover. Just be aware of this. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't want to do this. So just be aware. Pull the covers up over your head if you can, and take it easy. On the 11th of February, we have the moon in Pisces, sextile Venus in Capricorn. This is much more balanced. Our life is just like, okay, how can I do things? Like, how can I work smarter, not harder? And that's going to be a really important, aspect for ourselves. We're going to be more balanced. We want to bring more balance into our lives. And that's going to help us feel a lot more secure in the way that we're moving forward and what we're moving forward towards and the place that we want to be for us. We're really releasing a lot of lies. We're releasing a lot of things that we kind of just took at face value, took at truth, and it's not. And we're going to be setting ourselves free. On the 12th of February, we have the moon in Pisces conjunct Neptune in Pisces. Embracing compassion, empathy, sympathy on this day is going to be so important for us. We're going to be more understanding, and we're really going to get a lot of joy out of helping others. And that's going to be really important. And because this day is about this first half of the month is all about tackling lies, like tackling things that have kept us from our prosperity, we're really going to see that sharing that knowledge is going to be super important for us as well. On the 13th of February, it's really interesting because the 13th of February is really priming us for Valentine's Day, for the 14th of February. But the 14th of February is going to be more of a workaholic day. So just be mindful about this during this time. So on the 13th of February, we have Mars entering into Aquarius. Now, Mars is the planet of energy and drive. It enters into Aquarius and brings enthusiasm, motivation, change. It brings in fortune. It brings in, the unconventional. So that's going to be really important for us. We're going to see us stepping towards our dreams more, embracing the unusual. Gemini, we love the unusual. We love the kind of like stepping out of convention, stepping into ourselves. Then we have Venus in Capricorn, sextile Neptune in Pisces, also on the 13th, where we're going to see our relationships really benefit from a gentle touch. And we are going to need to embrace that gentle touch with the rest of the world, but also with ourselves. Just that energy of kindness is going to be so important. Being sweet and loving to ourselves, being sweet and loving to others, taking care of ourselves, embracing love, opening up our hearts. It's just going to be like, okay, this is the calm and this is the beauty. On the 14th of February, we have Mars in Aquarius conjunct Pluto in Aquarius. We are really going to be focusing on our future, and it's really going to be really important to us. We're going to be future oriented. We're going to be motivated. We're going to be taking action. I mean, really seriously, the Knight of Wands just shines during this time. We're going to be looking at our prosperity, what we value as much as money, and saying, listen, I'm coming out of this shadow time. I am going to be following Spirit's, guide for me, like the way Spirit is moving me forward, which at the beginning of this month, we're going to feel really frustrated with. And then as this month moves on, it's like, okay, I have to embrace this path. I have to see where this takes me. And we're going to become a little bit like, it's going to be like potato chippy, right? Really addictive. So just be aware of that. We are going to look at how to pursue our own transformation on the 14th and really catapult ourselves towards our dreams, towards what we desire, towards opening, doors, windows, digging tunnels to embrace what we want that we felt like we were shut out of in one way or another. And it doesn't matter when we were shut out of this, we are going to be seeing ourselves more. Now, on the 15th of February, We have the moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. It is a time of change, whether it be big change or small change. It's going to be very important change for us. We're stepping out of the shadows. We're stepping out of lies. We're stepping out of darkness. We're stepping into what spirit truly desires of us. And we're going to be saying during this time, it's like, okay, spirit, what do you want from me? It's like not what I think I'm supposed to be doing. It's going to be, how do I follow love, joy, and bliss? Bliss is the joy of my soul. And it's not being happy every moment of every day. We're too cantankerous of human beings. Like, human beings are just too cantankerous to sit there and say, I'm just going to live in happiness. I'm just going to live in absolute joy and let nothing bother me. Some people can reach that level of enlightenment, but then you can eat next to somebody who slurps their soup and just get totally annoyed. So just remember that we all have little things that really can bother us, and we can be the most enlightened person, but we can still have bad days. So being kind to ourselves is also going to be very important. Stepping back, stepping into our energy, stepping into our soul is going to be a very important and very powerful thing. And it's going to be something that we need to take time for during this time. Our subconscious spirit message is manifest. Be mindful, because we're not being mindful. Gemini, we are thinking a mile a minute. We're ruled by Mercury. We tend to, all right? But we're not being mindful. It's like, what is filling your mind? Because that is going to manifest your future. And it is time to call forward wealth. And it is time to believe that you deserve it. Wealth are what you value as much as money. When spirit talks about wealth, it does not mean you're going to own a mansion on top of a hill. What it means is that there is going to be an abundance that moves you forward in your existence and your life, and calls forward a sense of pride, a sense of like acceptance and beauty, and a real sense of, this is who I am, and this is where I want to be. This is a fantastic month for manifestation, because what we're going to see is a lot of the shadow elements, a lot of the darkness that makes us doubt our dreams, like those little kind of like, I just see them as like dark worms trying to like burrow into our dreams and our desires, and fill it with like dank and rot. We're going to be removing them, and we're going to be saying, you don't get to have a place here, right? I get to have the beauty that I want in my life. It's not being egotistical. It's not being selfish. It is saying that my dreams, my soul, myself, it matters. It moves us then to our subconscious spirit message. Well, not spirit message, but chakra message is the heart chakra. And it's interesting. We're represented by love in the major arcana. And here we have the heart chakra coming forward reversed. And the heart chakra is, green is the color of healing. And we need to embrace a healing. We need forgiveness. We can forgive other people. Yes, that's important. All right. But we need to forgive ourselves. We need to sit there, and we're kind of beating ourselves up over something. And we're thinking, no, I'm not. Like, no, I'm not doing that. I'm being totally kind to me. But we know we are. And Spirit is saying here, it's time to release and forgive. It's time to embrace love. There's something that we are sad or mad or overwhelmed about, Gemini. And it makes me sad, because it's like we've held onto it for so long. Sorry, don't mean to be getting emotional, but we've held onto it for so long, and it's held us back in ways that we don't even realize. Like, we don't even realize that it's seeped in. It's wounded us in these ways. Now, one of the things that we can do is we can look at Chiron in our chart, because there's the wound of Chiron, and that is our original wound. So I think that's so interesting. I think it's beautiful, where it's the spot where all the wounds in our life are kind of built off of. It's built off of this one thing. And we can find our wound. We can find our Chiron in our chart. There are free apps. There's like, I think it's astrology.com that you can type in. I don't know you, but you can Google like, your free astrology, in-depth chart, and you'll get it. And look where that wound is, and start there, because one of our life purposes is to heal that wound in this lifetime, in this existence, and see where it leads you. And it's embracing forgiveness. It's just like, okay, I love me. I forgive me. I'm human. I'm going to make mistakes. And that's going to be really important. It moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and it's the magician. We're not standing before the altar of our existence, claiming our magic, claiming our power, claiming ourselves. We're going to think, oh, yeah, but I need to improve this. And oh, I need to improve that. And no, I need to tweak this. Have you ever met people who are just unbelievably successful and confident within themselves, and you think, you're not that great? Like, I don't mean that in a mean way. I know that sounds really mean, but like, they're not. they're not the most talented people, but they have that confidence in themselves that propels them forward. They believe in their magic. They're showing up for them. Gemini, it's time for you to show up for you. It is. Our subconscious tarot message is judgment. We're coming out of the darkness. We're coming out of judging ourselves. We're embracing a bigger world than we have been embracing before. And we're going to see ourselves moving in a direction and in a way that we hadn't imagined. And we might be feeling judged by others, and we might be very sensitive to that. But we're also going to be feeling ourselves looking at us and saying, you're doing a damn good job. You know, why am I being so harsh on me? Okay. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, and be mindful that this meditation is accompanied by a loud sound. So let's release all our negative energy, raising our positive energy as we take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.